Welcome to Why It's Awesome, the show that thoroughly examines why I like various things in video games. This is the pilot, so just do me a favor and don't expect it to be good, but to compensate, we're going to talk about a really good game called Super Metroid. We're going to talk about why it's awesome, why it still has an incredibly loyal fan base today, and why, since its release in 1994, that's pushing 19 years ago, exploitable glitches that make new ways to play this game possible are still being discovered. There's really not much to talk about here as far as an intro goes that you don't already know if you're watching this video in the first place. The basis behind the Metroid series has always been to explore, find stuff, and then use the stuff to kill things. This is important because the things get stronger and harder to kill the farther you get into the game. I guess it's pretty standard stuff to that end, but you get the idea. Find stuff on various planetary locales, kill things. Usually space pirates, but sometimes you just kill on the local wildlife. It doesn't matter, I mean, you're a bounty hunter and you kill whatever you see. It all started back on the NES, and at the time, it was turbo hardcore. I mean, the game was really hard, but then again, I guess every other game on the NES was too. But to even the odds bit, it was one of the first games ever to implement a fully functional password system to save your progress. And then a little while later came Metroid 2, for the original Game Boy. I think this is a good example of how a game can be made even more creepy and atmospheric just because of its technological limitations. I mean, just check out this title screen. Anyway, and then came Super Metroid. And that's really all the history you're going to get on the series. I'm just going to talk about Super Metroid from here on out. I mean, that makes sense to me. I don't know about you guys. So, okay, what makes this game so awesome? Well, I just gotta say, first of all, that it's just a really good game in its own right. The areas are huge and incredibly well executed and fun to explore. Each area is different from the last, and the whole atmosphere is enhanced by an incredibly moody soundtrack. I think that a lot of first-time players of this game have trouble comprehending how you can beat it in under 3 hours to get the best ending. Then maybe they're curious enough to start doing a little bit of research and they find out that the world records for this game are ridiculous. I mean, there's a guy named Satoru Suzuki that got 100% of the items and beat the game in 50 minutes. And he beat it without getting 100% of the items in 31 minutes. How is that even possible? Well, this is where it gets fun. When it comes to secret moves, it really doesn't get much better than Super Metroid. I'm going to start by giving you a quick list of moves that were programmed into the game by the developers. But aside from just trapping you, the player, in a hole with some aliens that are doing the moves, the game does very little to teach you, so you could easily play through the game 5 or 10 times and still not know about these. First, we have your basic Shine Spark, which is this little puppy here. And even once you figure out how to do it this way, you still may not figure out that you can also do it this way, and this way. Another really obscure one is called the Crystal Flash, which restores all your health at the expense of your items. Then there's everybody's favorite, the notorious wall jump. It's the bane of many players. Learning how to do it usually looks like this, but once you get it down, it can be used to break into all kinds of areas early in the game where normally you'd be stuck hunting for items just to figure out how to get in. And then there's the bomb jump. I mean, it's kind of useful sometimes. There's also a double bomb jump, but I didn't feel like finding footage of it, and I mean, it's pretty much the same thing, only a very small, tiny amount faster. So just imagine it. Now, even with all these nifty, hidden moves that, like I said, the game gives you very little instruction on how to pull off, what really makes this game unique is the fact that it's totally broken, but like in a good way that works and enhances gameplay. Most of the time, in video games, glitches look like this, and are 100% unhelpful. But every once in a while, you'll find a video game that has glitches that you can actually use to trick the game into doing useful stuff. The mock ball is the wall jump of the glitches in this game. I mean, it's hard to pick up, but once you get it, you'll be doing it automatically. It'll be so ingrained into your playing style. Probably the most famous use of this particular glitch is to get early super missiles. So then you've got your early super missiles, and you've totally skipped a mini-boss. Saves a ton of time. Okay, so don't get me wrong, the fact that Super Metroid has nifty hidden moves and cool ways to glitch your way all over the place isn't actually why this game is awesome. It's really how these things so effectively enhance an already awesome game. I mean, the fact that these moves are so seamlessly implemented into the game and are useful in so many different ways got some people thinking that these glitches were just more special moves that were deliberately programmed into the game. But given the fact that the game gives you some sort of instruction with the other special moves, in the end it seems that these are simply glitches. Really, really useful ones. It's incredible. The Super Metroid team literally did all this by accident. With all of these planned and then also unplanned tricks, you can basically play this game any way you're feeling and it will always be fun and rewarding. Want to be thorough? Get 100% of the items. Just want to be fast? Get however many percent you want and just beat the game ASAP. 100% runs, any percent runs, low percent runs where you collect as few items as possible, runs where you collect the highest percentage of items possible without fighting any bosses or mini-bosses, runs where you don't collect any suit upgrades, making the superheated room segments of the game totally brutal, and the list goes on. I mean, it's even possible to beat all the major bosses in reverse order. Now that's what I call flexibility. As a little side point, another game in the Metroid series that was pretty broken was the first Metroid Prime. There are sequence breaks and useful glitches all over the place in that game, making it very popular for speedrunners. But in Metroid Prime 2 and 3, Retro Studios made sure that didn't happen again. Another example of this sequence-breaking style of gameplay was Metroid Zero Mission. The game boasts a ton of hidden routes that allow the player to get into many areas whenever they want. But since this was done on purpose by Nintendo, many of those shortcuts amount to little more than a hidden bombable or shootable block, so I don't know, it's still not quite the same. But back to Super Metroid. Just to sum it up, it always amazes me how many top 10 SNES game lists this game just barely makes it onto. I mean, it's always like number 9 on the list, and then the top 3 slots are always Mario games or something like that, and as much as I love SNES-era Mario games, Super Metroid just offers so much more. I mean, think about it, this game offers so much flexibility that it's still played consistently by old and new fans alike 19 years after it was released. That's an incredible feat. So if you're one of those people that have heard about this game but just never got around to trying it out, just get your alien pants on and give it a go, or if you just have vague, fuzzy memories of watching your older brother play it when you were like 7, do yourself a favor and give it a shot. I'm confident that you'll love it even if you're not compelled to play it over and over and over and over and over and over. Like I was.